In this episode, I'm discussing unlearning and why it's such an important part of personal growth. I share what this process has entailed on my journey and how you could begin the process. Hello, and welcome to the Beautiful Reflections podcast. I'm your host, Katherine Johnson, a certified professional coach, mentor, writer, and speaker. I help professional women gain the clarity, confidence, and courage to pursue their bigger purpose and vision, so that they can have fulfillment and thrive in their careers. I believe there is beauty in our voices, beauty in our stories, and beauty in our journeys. There is power in community, connection, and deep, meaningful conversation, which is why me and my guests are here to share our stories, experiences, lessons, and learning to inspire you as you walk the path and step into your next level. We go deep, sharing beautiful reflections of what this personal growth journey looks like in real, living color. This journey of pursuing our purpose and vision as we continue to evolve. It is my mission to empower you to believe in your power, to embrace your own uniqueness, and to be the best version of you. I want to see you thrive purposefully. Now on to the episode for today. Hello, and welcome to the Beautiful Reflections podcast. I'm your host, Katherine Johnson. If you're listening for the first time, this podcast is all about, as the name says, beautiful reflections, reflecting on the beauty that life offers on our journeys. I'm very much into all things awareness, community, personal growth, learning, and spirituality, which is why this podcast highlights my journey and the journey of other ambitious women who are doing the work to be their best self and live their best life. My goal is to give you a real glimpse into what the personal growth journey really entails and provide you with actionable steps to support you on your journey. Today, I'm discussing unlearning and why it's such an important part of personal growth. I'll be sharing what this process has looked like on my journey and how you can begin the process so that you can thrive in your career and life. So what does it mean to unlearn? So I'm very fascinated with words and their meaning. So of course, I had to look up the exact definition just for you. And according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, unlearning is defined as to undo the effect of, to discard the habit of. So in other words, it means to forget or to disremember. So why is this important? Why am I talking about this today? Unlearning has been a big part of my personal growth journey. In order for me to be where I am today, I really had to go through the process of unlearning all of the beliefs, attitudes, and ideals that were no longer supporting me in where I'm going. I'm going to use the analogy of a fruit tree to help put this into context. So think of the seeds as the beliefs, the attitudes, and the ideals. Everything that contributes to who you are, how you show up in the world, and what you think about yourself. Now, when we plant the seeds, we want fruit. However, in order for those seeds to bloom and produce fruit, they need very specific conditions. They need water, light, good soil, nurturing, the right temperature, and the right environment. Now, if for whatever reason the seeds do not grow or yield a plant or fruit, we know it didn't get something that it needed. It doesn't necessarily mean that the seeds were bad because inherently, the seed contains everything it needs to produce a plant or a fruit. It means that we didn't do something or give it something that it needed to grow. Similarly, in our lives, there have been seeds that have been planted in us since childhood. Beliefs, attitudes, and ideals that have been ingrained in us. Messaging from other people, upbringing, society, and cultural influences, all those things. Even beliefs that we've picked up from our own unique experiences and circumstances. These things have taken root in our life and have grown. Now, if these seeds were nourishing, then we will see the results in our lives. But oftentimes, the seeds that have been planted may be growing, but they're non-bearing. This means that they're not yielding any fruit in our lives. This means they are not supporting our growth and us having what we truly desire, which is we're ready for more. We want greater, we're ready to flourish and to step into our next level. But our beliefs, attitudes, and ideals are keeping us from moving forward and really limiting our progress. The reality is that we have a lot of beliefs that do not serve us. many of which are not ours and only keep us stuck, unfulfilled, and feeling bad about ourselves. In life, if we truly desire to thrive, it's going to take the right conditions. Just like a healthy tree will produce healthy fruit, we need an ideal environment to grow. This is part of the work of unlearning in order to grow and evolve. Now, I learned that I had a lot of beliefs and messaging that I picked up during childhood through different experiences from other people and things. And in hindsight, if I hadn't done the work of unlearning, I'd be pretty jacked up right now. So growing up, I had a lot of beliefs about my body that really didn't serve me. They only made me feel less than, inadequate, and really not good enough. This showed up in how I carried myself, my confidence, and ultimately how I felt about myself. I was so caught up with every different facet of myself. I remember I didn't like my legs. They were too small, so I never wore shorts or skirts. I didn't like my feet. They were too big. I had a hammer toe, so I never wore open-toe shoes. I didn't think my body looked right in dresses. They were too revealing, so I never wore dresses unless I was forced. Even when I was going natural, I carried the belief that my natural hair texture wasn't appealing or manageable. It needed to be tamed, controlled, and relaxed. I didn't wear makeup because the women in my life, they didn't wear makeup. And my granddad told me, never wear makeup. It messes up your skin. You don't need it. I was always very skinny while growing up. I was called all kinds of skinny names. So I had some serious body confidence issues. I hated all of my imperfections, the stretch marks, blemishes, dark circles, my kinky hair with super mega shrinkage, etc., etc., etc. I really didn't think that I was beautiful. I didn't feel pretty, and I was so blinded by other people's messages that I couldn't even see my beauty. I surely couldn't accept someone telling me that I was beautiful because I didn't believe it was true. Now, I share some of these physical examples because many women can relate with these beliefs. We dwell so much on these things, and it's really all due to external messaging and programming. I realized that all of these beliefs were not my own. Like, a child doesn't grow up and naturally think that something is wrong with them unless they saw it, they heard it, or they learned it from someone or something. And the truth is that we learn so much about ourselves and the world from age 0 to 7, and we carry these things and they become a part of us. And ultimately, they cause us to hide, to dim our lights, and to become lost to our own unique beauty. And if we don't work on these beliefs, they negatively affect our self-worth, our self-esteem, and our self-confidence. So just like that plant, like if it stops growing and it's not producing any fruit anymore, we would do something. We wouldn't just leave it there when what we truly desire is some juicy fruit. Like, we would do something. We would give it some new soil, some water, maybe a new pot, change the location, give it some plant food, something. We would do something to get that plant growing, right? It's the same thing for our lives. We have to do something. We have to unroot and, in many cases, plant new seeds. We really have to look at our beliefs to determine what's no longer serving us so that we can grow and continue to evolve. So one thing I know is that I've always admired beauty. Now, I'm not talking about surface beauty. I'm talking about inner beauty, someone that radiates love and kindness. I've also always admired a woman with her own sense of style and uniqueness. Like, she's going to wear what she want to wear. She's not concerned about conforming or being someone else or being who someone else thinks she should be. She's just doing her own thing, and she is secure in who she is. I've also always admired a woman that is confident in her body. Think of the Lizzos and Jessamine Stanleys of the world. I mean, like, the complete definition of body positivity and loving themselves, not caring what anyone says or what anyone thinks. They're going to be themselves in all of their beauty and uniqueness and show all the world who they are, who they really are at their core. The thing I learned is that beauty, uniqueness, and confidence really resonates with me for reasons, because the things that resonate with us or the things that we're attracted to us really reveal the things that we're attracted to really reveal something about us. And so since these things resonate with me or I'm attracted to these things, it's because these things are in me. So my work has been unlearning everything that has really caused me to believe otherwise. This is what this personal growth journey entails. It's the unlearning. It's the unrooting of all of the things that are no longer serving us so that we can step into our next level, so that we can be the woman that we were created to be. Now, what I've learned in all of this, or what the lesson has been in all of this, is that one, it's not that serious. Most times we make a big deal about things that most people don't care about or even notice or make that big of a deal about. We think that people are dwelling on our flaws and our imperfections. Not so, because everyone has them. Two, we're not invalidated by the things that make us imperfect, but merely human. Our value is not found in superficial and fading things that in the grand scheme of things really don't matter. And number three, the best thing that we can do for ourselves is to be ourselves in all of our own uniqueness. But in order to do that, we have to unlearn. We have to remove all of the muck so that we can see and connect with the truth, which is our true beauty. That has been the beautiful reflection. Now, I challenge you to sit down and reflect on some of your beliefs, attitudes, and ideals. Think about the seeds that have been planted in you, the things that have taken root and the things that have grown. Are they hindering you or are they supporting you? What do you need to unlearn? What beliefs do you need to get rid of? What beliefs do you need to disremember? What beliefs do you need to forget? What beliefs are really holding you back, maybe keeping you stuck, causing you to feel unfulfilled, causing you to feel frustrated, and ultimately keeping you where you no longer desire to be? What are you still waiting for someone else to tell you that you actually need to tell yourself? Oftentimes, we're waiting for someone else to validate something about us before we believe it ourselves. But in reality, we need to be telling ourselves those things. We need to be telling ourselves that we're beautiful, that we're worthy, that we're deserving, that we're lovable, that we're valuable, all of those things. So choose a belief that you feel is hindering you, that may be getting in your way or no longer serving you. See if you can recall or pinpoint where the belief came from. What's the backstory? Who said it to you or who didn't say it to you? Where did you learn it from? This will help you gain awareness so that you can begin to create new beliefs and affirm the beliefs that will support you. It's really all about out with the old and in with the new so that you can step confidently into your next level. Now know that this is not a one and done process. Personal growth never is. It takes work and time, just like growing fruit. But with the proper tools, consistency, time, patience, and attention, it will bloom and it will flourish. So stay committed to what you desire by doing the work to unlearn. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I'd love to hear from you. Connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn at Katherine N Johnson. Use the hashtag Katherine N Johnson or Beautiful Reflections Podcast on Instagram and tell me what you're enjoying about the podcast. Be sure to follow the podcast to be notified of new episodes. And show me some love by leaving a rating and a review and sharing the podcast with another woman in your life. I appreciate all of your support. Until next time.